Hey guys, today on YouTube I want to show you guys a Bitcoin position I'm in, as well as one that I tried to enter yesterday that never worked out for me, and why that happened. And I also want to look into another chart pattern just in the stock market. Of course, everybody do your own research. None of this is financial advice. I'm only showing you guys what I'm looking at for possibilities in the charts, my own hypotheses on where the market's heading, that sort of stuff. So always do your own research. These are high risk markets. So anyways, guys, this looks a little sloppy here, but I'll clear it up as we go here. I want to start with the trade I took last night. With this red support line that I have mapped out here and this yellow line, I was looking at a bit of a triangle to play out there. We did end up having our candle close above. We had our one touch point, two touch point. You can say we had three and technically even another little touch there. But anyways, yeah, we had our close above there. So I did enter a long position, but I kept a very tight stop loss because I was also looking at the potential of this bigger red triangle. And in our group chat, I know I mentioned this trade that I took, but I also mentioned that the stop loss would be hit very quick if I was wrong. It actually took longer than I expected to drop down to this level. But yeah, anyways, I was stopped out on that trade, guys, so that's too bad, but whatever. Overnight, we did get a dump, and in that same group chat, I had mentioned that if a safer trade would be waiting for this triangle to break. I never did even take a short position on that, I was just pointing it out. But overnight, after I got stopped out on that first trade there, I just let the pattern kind of develop. But we did develop this little bit of a, I consider it a bump and run pattern. I don't know if it meets all the criteria or not, but that's how I look at it. We had this downward sloping yellow line here. We ended up just kind of trading sideways and got our green candle close above that line. So I actually only got half of my order, and what I do on these patterns a lot of the times is I will split my order into two. So I took half my position on this green close, but I was looking for a retest down lower, form some sort of a double bottom here, as well as a retest of this yellow trend line. And we never got that, and it's too bad that I only got half my position in, but quite often what I will do is just wait for that retest before I enter any trades. But quite often, if I am able to pay attention to the charts, I will enter half my position and then half later if the opportunity comes up, because just in case we get a move like this, we don't actually get our retest, it just took right off. So you can see here, this green line here, I ended up taking a third of my position off the table. And that actually wasn't even set, but this whole move here happened a little quicker than I was expecting. So when my alarm went saying that this red resistance line was broken, I decided, well, it's time to start thinking about taking some profits, I guess. And we were at about 97.75. So I took a third of my position out. With the rest of my position, I'm looking at just doing a trailing stop loss. I have it broken to two just because I think that if we do break below this green wick here, we are also losing the support of this red trend line. Also, notice this red triangle that I pointed out from last night, extending the line. Look at where we're kind of consolidating right now. We did have that break out of the triangle, but we are currently back above the support of it and consolidated, so we might have room to keep going. Might treat this as a bit of a bull flag. Doesn't have to happen, obviously, but anyways, if we drop this support of the red upward support line, as well as breaking this tiny little bit of cluster here, I want to lock in some more profits, so half of my remaining position would be stopped out there. And this lower one here will be the rest of my position, and that's more so going with the downward trend line. This red trend line here, the top of that triangle from last night. So I'm going to try and keep an eye on things, and as we go I might have to drop that stop loss a little bit lower as we go. I want to keep it just below this red trend line if I can. So For now, it's at 96.36 is where I would be totally out of my position. But for now, I'm just going to let that part of my position ride, because you guys know that my overall outlook on the market has been quite bullish lately because of my weekly chart here. We are still trading in between my two weekly trend lines in this 1 week candle alone. So eventually I would like to see us consolidate above the top white line there. We got above it briefly on the 15-minute chart, but really dropped hard when we did lose this little bit of support. It's hard to see on the weekly chart, but I know I've pointed it out before, so I'm not going to try and zoom in and find that and waste your time. But yeah, basically as long as we keep consolidating between these two white lines or on top of this white line, I'm going to consider us bullish. If we drop this support line here, I wouldn't be surprised to see the bottom of the triangle again with a little more consolidation before we take any sort of a breakout either to the upside or to the downside. So we're going to have to see how that plays out the next few weeks. But this pattern right here, this entire pattern, you guys know I keep pointing out how important it is. And this pattern is actually what made me even start making these videos as soon as I noticed it. And I'm sticking to that pattern because for as long as I've been making these videos, it has been being respected. So we're going to stay on that. Last but not least, guys, I want to talk about stock. I know I've pointed it out before, ATRS. It's a pharmaceutical company, and again, I know nothing about it, just like last time I told you guys about it, but I entered a trade based on this green triangle breakout, as well as this purple downtrend line here. So now what we have is we have pumped, we have had a bit of a dip back down, but this is one of my favorite ascending triangle patterns, so I would not be surprised to see us test it a couple more times before a breakout up. If we do lose support of this green upward trend line, I will be looking to sell my stocks in this company just to take some risk off the table. But until that happens, I am looking at this pattern quite bullishly too, as an ascending triangle, because as I mentioned, they're basically my favorite pattern to play. And as well, I want to show you the eerie similarities to Tesla on the 1-day chart. This ATRS is the 4-hour chart, but look at this daily Tesla chart. Basically the exact same thing, and we all know what happened there. That is a massive move. That's a lot more than just one measured move. And I'm not saying that ATRS has to do the same thing, but the chart similarities are there, so I am willing to take a trade on this, and with the possibilities that this fairly large-sized ascending triangle causes some sort of a massive bull rally, this could be some great percentage gains. Even if we just get up to this horizontal resistance, that's still another 43% from the breakout. So from where we're at right now, that's over a 60% increase. So we're going to have to see how that plays out. Anyways, guys, that's just kind of a few things that I wanted to put on your radar. To me, it looks like this could potentially play out like a bull flag. I would take some sort of a measured move, like from where it's going to, if it were to break out, let's say we had a bit of a triangle consolidate here and break out. This is all just theoretical, but let's say the breakout point is around here. Our target would be over $10,000. Even if we just took it from the red line, that would actually be closer to my weekly trend line, right around 10,000. So that measured move makes a lot of sense. It's just a couple indicators lining up, a couple reasons to find price targets and that sort of stuff. Let's see, what else can I point out here? Yeah, for now, guys, I think, oh, one more thing, actually, before I forget, would be this horizontal resistance, which is quite clear, but that lines up perfectly with my triangle where we ended up getting rejected last time, around that $10,400 mark. It matches up perfect with both my diagonal and my horizontal resistance line. You can see that this has been a very significant area for a lot of trading action, guys. So in my opinion, if we break 10,400 more, 10,500 to give ourselves some room, I think there's going to be a lot of room for this thing to take off and grow some legs. So we're going to have to see how that plays out in the near future here. Anyways, guys, that's all I wanted to share with you today. So stay safe out there. Have a good rest of your weekend. And see you on the next one. Peace.